Liverpool's season has already thrown up its fair share of challenges, but the latest news out of Anfield will have supporters buzzing. Just when questions were being asked about depth at the back, the Reds have received a massive boost that could reshape their defensive outlook. It's the kind of development that strengthens belief, steadies nerves, and reminds rivals that this Liverpool side isn't going anywhere. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Federico Chiesa is out to convince Arne Slot to give him more opportunities this season after a transfer did not eventuate for the Italian this summer. A transfer was expected for the Italian after playing 466 minutes across his debut season, with Slot instead favouring his other forward options. He could still feasibly move on this summer with the Super League transfer window open until Friday, but Besiktas made a loan approach and were rebuffed. Chiesa has come off the bench in all 3 Premier League games this season, but his omission from the Champions League squad underlined his status in Liverpool's squad. Though, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, Chiesa is still hopeful of convincing Slot to give him more opportunities and is counting on proving himself to the Dutchman. Chiesa is claimed to have rejected interest from Turkey as he believes it's more valuable to compete with top players than risk embarrassment of another move not living up to expectations. His task only grew harder with the arrival of Alexander Isak, with the investment in Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike underlining the direction Slot wants to take his side. The 27-year-old will be more than aware that the World Cup looms next year, and he also understands the dangers of getting distracted by mid-season decisions when everything is still up for grabs. Chiesa's opportunities will remain limited this season as it stands, but he will be hopeful that Slot embraces the lesson of rotation and squad depth with a game every midweek and weekend. The Italian is a popular member of the dressing room and a fan favourite, and showed the influence he can have with the winner against Bournemouth. But it's Slot's trust that will be the key to the opportunities he seeks. In many ways, Chiesa's Liverpool story is at a crossroads. The Italian has the quality, the work rate, and the backing of both teammates and supporters, but only Arne Slot's faith will determine whether he becomes a central figure or a peripheral option. With a relentless schedule ahead and the World Cup on the horizon, the stage is set. Now it's up to Chiesa to seize every opportunity and turn potential into permanence at Anfield. Now in a huge defender boost, Jeremy Frimpong was back in Liverpool training on Wednesday after missing the last 2 games with a hamstring injury. Frimpong was withdrawn after 60 minutes in the first game of the season against Bournemouth, with scans later determining he had suffered a hamstring injury. The prognosis was a return after the September international break, and he looks on track after taking part in training on Wednesday afternoon at the AXA Training Centre. Liverpool's number 30 missed the wins against Newcastle and Arsenal and remained behind during the international break to continue his rehabilitation. The Dutchman was one of several senior players involved after the conclusion of the international break, with Alexander Isak taking part in his first session after his deadline day arrival. Joe Gomez, Federico Chiesa, Stefan Bajcetic, and goalkeeper Freddie Woodman were also present for the training session that primarily featured youth players. Jayden Danns, Kaidi Gordon, Terence Miles, Carter Pinnington, and Kieran Morrison were among those involved ahead of the full senior squad's return on Thursday. With Dominic Szoboszlai impressing at right back and Connor Bradley also back from injury, there will be no need to rush Frimpong into the 11 or even the matchday squad ahead of an intense fixture list. Burnley is the first of 7 games before the next international break at the start of October, and like Isak, Frimpong will be managed accordingly to avoid a reoccurrence of his hamstring injury. Frimpong's return to fitness means Liverpool's squad is injury-free, and Ruben Peters and co will be eager to keep it that way after overseeing vast improvement on the fitness front last season. Frimpong's timely return leaves Liverpool in the rare position of boasting a fully fit squad heading into a hectic run of fixtures. With depth across the backline and competition for places fiercer than ever, Arne Slot has the luxury of managing his options carefully rather than out of necessity. If the Dutchman can keep his side healthy, Liverpool's momentum could gather serious pace in the weeks ahead. In other news, Florian Wirtz admits it might take a few more games to find his feet at Liverpool, but the £116 million signing has no concerns over his early performances. Wirtz may have been expected to hit the ground running given the fee involved in his summer move from Bayer Leverkusen, but his start to life at Anfield has been quiet. Unlike Hugo Ekitike, who has scored 3 goals and assisted another in his 4 appearances so far, the Germany international's form is more understated. After an improved showing in the 1-0 win over Arsenal before the international break, however, Wirtz netted an outstanding free kick in his country's 3-1 win over Northern Ireland on Sunday. Speaking to German broadcaster RTL, after that game, the 22-year-old gave an honest verdict on his early form at Liverpool. It might take a few more games. It's a different league, a different kind of football, he explained. I knew that, and I'm glad I'm here. When will I score for the first time? I have no idea, hopefully in the next game. It will come eventually. Despite the perceptions of Wirtz's first outings against Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Newcastle and Arsenal, the new number 7 has still shown his worth. Per FotMob, Cody Gakpo, 6, is the only Liverpool player to create more chances than Wirtz in the Premier League, 4, while only Ekitike, 0.55, has a higher rate of XG and XA per 90, 0.29. The intensity of the English top flight is viewed as his biggest hurdle, but Wirtz, 1.1, has also won possession in the final third more times per 90 minutes than any of his teammates bar Curtis Jones, 1.3. That comes with the third highest rate of successful tackles per 90 in the squad, with the attacking midfielder 1.8, behind only Dominik Szoboszlai 2.3 and Milos Kerkez 1.9, both of whom have played as fullbacks. Wirtz's adjustment period comes as part of a wider system change under Arne Slot this season, with the setup closer to a traditional 4-2-3-1. That revolves around the £116 million signing and has therefore magnified the pressure on him to perform in, as he rightly points out, a new league and with new teammates. He clearly retains a firm belief in his abilities, and his stunning strike against Northern Ireland should ensure he reports back to the AXA training centre this week full of confidence. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.